What's up, NFL fans? We're back with another video, but we're gonna do something different this year. What I plan on doing this month is I'm gonna rank and grade all four divisions on the NFC side. So this is for May. June, I'm gonna do for all four divisions on the AFC side. But since there's only four teams per division, on Fridays, I'm going to give my grades and who I feel won the draft according to that division. So this month is going to be NFC. I'm starting with the NFC East side, and I'm going from worst to best according to last year's rankings or how they finished in the standings, I should say. So we're going to start off with the Washington Commanders. And like I said, on Fridays, please subscribe and hit the bell to get notified when I post, because on Fridays is when you're gonna actually see how I graded the Washington Commanders, the Giants, the Cowboys, and the Eagles. So please subscribe. On Fridays, I'll give the grade and give the reasons why I graded the teams how I did. But for now, we're just gonna talk about the players that they drafted and how the coaches did the first time for their teams, the first time the GM did for their teams, or if they're not first time coaches for that team, just how they try to improve their football team. But like I said, today we're gonna start off with the Washington Commanders. Overall, what I thought Dan Quinn and Adam Peters did, I think they did a really good job to establish this team. Now, obviously, with the first pick for the Washington Commanders is Jayden Daniels, quarterback from LSU. I mean, there's really nothing bad to say about this kid, about this young man, I should say. To me, he reminds me a lot of Lamar Jackson. He has the speed. Is he as fast as Lamar? Probably not. Is he as agile as Lamar? Probably not. But he can still run a lot of RPOs, a lot of QB draws with him. And quite frankly, if you can get him outside the pocket, just not a lot, but just every now and then, it'll really cause defenders and defensive coordinators headaches. So I really like that he has some speed to him. He can make all the throws, especially at different arm angles as well. There's really nothing bad to say about Jayden Daniels. Like, there's a lot of upside to this young man, a lot of upside. With their second pick, I'm gonna mispronounce his name. I liked him a lot, coming from Illinois. Jer'Zhan Newton. Now I'm gonna talk a little bit about this draft pick. He was projected. So I seen some projecting him go to the Miami Dolphins in the first round because the Miami Dolphins did lose Wilkins. He went to the Las Vegas Raiders. So that's why many mock drafts, or a few I should say, I saw him going round 1, pick 21. So for the Washington Commanders to get him second round, fourth overall, I think that's a steal for them. Especially considering, I believe Payne, this is his last year on the deal. So you have Allen, Payne, and Newton. Now my opinion is they should trade Payne because he only has 1 year. Might as well get something for him. You lost Kendall Fuller, your best cornerback, so you maybe go after a cornerback from trading Payne. That I'm just going a little off beat here, but overall, going back to the draft on why they drafted Newton, I'm pretty sure that's why they drafted Newton, because they don't want to sign Payne, as he's going to ask for a lot of money, as he's a good defensive tackle in a 4-3 scheme. With interesting, I think Dan Quinn runs 3-4 though, so that's gonna be interesting to see what Dan Quinn does. But as of right now, with the defensive tackles that they have, they should be a 4-3 defense. So adding Jer'Zhan Newton, I think is a really solid pickup going forward in the future. They drafted a cornerback, second round, pick 18 in the second round. I can't pronounce his last name at all. Mike Skirinstol? Cornerback, Michigan. He's a physical DB. He can blitz, and he likes to tackle too. So my assumption would be maybe he plays in the slot, maybe outside. But this draft pick is obviously very clear to me you lost your top corner, so you ended up drafting a corner, hopefully to replace him. Hopefully he does good for you guys. A tight end. I like this tight end pickup that Adam Peters and what's his name, Dan Quinn. I like this pickup a lot because a best friend for a quarterback is a tight end, in my opinion, especially for rookie quarterbacks because that's the security blanket. Like he's closer to the line of scrimmage, so it's easier to see their tight end. But they ended up drafting Ben Sinnott. Looks like second round 21st pick. I'm not sure if that's 100% right, but that's what I've written down. Tight end from Kansas State. He has a real good feel for the game. He can read the defense. Like when he's running routes, he'll actually sit on zone coverages, make it easy for the quarterback to hit him. That I did like about him. He has decent hands as well. He's not really fast. He has good route running though. But I really like this draft pick because you ended up getting Zach Ertz in free agency, and to me, he's gonna learn a lot in the tight ends room, learning a lot from Zach Ertz and learning how to be a pro as well. So I really like this pickup going forward. He might not be a standout immediately year one, but going forward to year 2, year 3, I could see Ben Sinnott being the actual starter and being solid for the Washington Commanders. Now they added a guard, Brandon Coleman from TCU. This one I don't really. I mean, I get why you got to add depth, but he's gonna be a backup. I'm drawing a blank right now. Sorry about that. Yeah, I had a huge brain fart, but they drafted a lineman from TCU, Brandon Coleman. He could start anywhere on the line for them, which is why I think they drafted him. They obviously have to protect Jaden Daniels, so I highly understand why they drafted Brandon Coleman from TCU. Luke McCaffrey, I like him a lot. He's not gonna start immediately for you guys, but being in the receiver room with Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson, I think he's gonna learn a lot from both of those guys. And Luke McCaffrey is gonna be okay his rookie year, but going forward to year 2 and year 3, I think he's really gonna blossom into the receiver he can be. What I liked about Luke McCaffrey is good with he's good with the ball in his hands. So pretty much what I mean by that is you can just give it to him on a screenplay, and he's gonna make a play off of it. You can do reverse runs with him, jet sweeps. He's really good with the ball in his hands. He might be a special teams player to start off his career. Stop. Sorry about that. My dog just barking for no reason. But yeah, he's really good with the ball in his hands. So like I was saying, he might start off as special teams, kick returner, or punt returner, which is still good because you still need to play special teams. Especially with this year's new kickoff rule, he might be really effective there. He's also really good against contested catches. He's tough. He doesn't shy away from it, and he does catch a lot of those, kind of like his pops would with the Denver Broncos. So that I do like about him. He just has to work a little bit more on his route running, his hip drops, and his head movement when he runs routes. So that I think he can work on over the course of his time in Washington. Terry McLaurin is going to teach him really well, as well as Jahan Dotson. Linebacker Jordan McGee. This one I just simply think is just for depth reasons. If he works out, cool. But he's not going to start over Bobby Wagner. I mean, it's excellent because Bobby Wagner he's an old veteran. So maybe Jordan McGee, linebacker from Temple, he should learn a lot from Bobby Wagner. He's going to learn how to be, for sure, a professional. And then, who knows, from there, Maybe he learns how to be a leader as well. He learns how to study film. Learns what learn what the opposing offense is doing on the field, and who knows? Maybe he could blossom for them. And he's a fifth-round draft pick. With another fifth-round draft pick 26, Dominique Hampton, safety from Washington. They added Jeremy Chin, and they have Parsi Butler. This one, to me, I think he's just a special teams player. I don't think he's going to be anything good. No offense, but you already have Jeremy Chin and Parsi Butler. I believe Parsi Butler, if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure he's a young safety as well. So I don't know why they would draft safety. I thought that maybe they would draft another receiver or a cornerback. You still need cornerback help, as your cornerback room is not that good, in my opinion. You have Emmanuel Forbes and Benjamin St. Juste. So I believe you need help there. And then with your last pick, Javonte Jean-Baptiste, edge from Notre Dame. Now, I like this pickup a lot because, as I said, you just drafted Jerson Nguyen, defensive tackle, so young guy. I believe Allen is a young guy, and like I said, Payne is about to leave this team. So you have two really good interior linemen in Allen and Nguyen. So going forward, I would assume Javonte Jean-Baptiste, he should never face double teams. So I really like that going forward for the Washington Commanders. Hopefully he blossoms and he's a steal in the late 7th round draft pick. Or not late, he was an early 7th round, but he was a 7th round draft pick. So I really like that. I really like the mindset of Dan Quinn going after him. But yeah, I really like this. I like this team's draft a lot this year. A lot of second rounders, which this team needs, as they went 4-13 last year. So I like what they did a lot. Now, Jaden Daniels, I'm going to talk a little bit about this. He has Cliff Kingsbury. His best quarterback was Patrick Mahomes at Texas. But he also coached Johnny Manziel with the Aggies in 2012. And then he obviously had Kyler Murray with the Arizona Cardinals. But his best quarterback was clearly, by all means, Patrick Mahomes. So what I hope Cliff does is I hope he uses him like he did Patrick Mahomes. And he did okay with Kyler Murray. Johnny Manziel he did good with as well. But Johnny didn't do good in the National Football League. So I have a little bit of cause for concern with Cliff, as he's only produced one quarterback. Kyler's a gunslinger, but they only had like one good year with him. But they had 2 good years with him. But I want to see Cliff really just utilize Jaden Daniels' running ability, because he can throw from the pocket. But this team's going to be a run-first team because they did add Austin Eckler and they have Brian Robinson, 2 good really running backs. They both can be number 1s for any team. So I want to see Cliff help Jaden Daniels and run the ball a lot, make it easy on him. Obviously 2 solid receivers as well. So I'm really interested to see how Cliff Kingsbury calls plays this year. In my opinion, you check the ball down a lot to Austin Eckler. You still could run with Austin Eckler as well. And then when Brian Robinson is in, it's more than likely going to be a run. He's more of a physical runner down in the red zone. You're probably going to see him more. Or maybe you can also run 2 running backs. That's also a possibility because they're both heck of running backs. So I would like to see 2 running back formations as well under shotgun. Maybe that's a little crazy. Maybe triple option. So maybe you fake handoff to Austin Eckler. You have Brian Robinson on the edge. And you can either take off or you can pitch it to Brian Robinson. You can do a lot of things with Jaden Daniels, so I hope Cliff is ready for it. But also, this is an interesting move by Dan Quinn and Cliff. They added Tavita Pritchard. He came from Stanford, I believe. I believe this is his first year in the NFL. So I really want to see what he does as well in the quarterback's room. Because if Cliff does really good with Jaden Daniels, then I expect Cliff to maybe leave and maybe become a head coach somewhere else. And then that would mean Tavita Pritchard really steps up and becomes offensive coordinator as he'd be comfortable with Jaden Daniels being in the QB room a lot. So Tavita Pritchard is another interesting name to look at for the coaches for the Washington Commanders. I just thought it was really interesting what Dan Quinn and Adam did, because Dan Quinn is a defensive-minded coach. So adding Cliff, it could really benefit them, because Clifford really wasn't a really good head coach, but as an offensive coordinator, I think he could excel as he only focuses on the offense. So that's also a positive way to look at it as well. But adding Tavita Pritchard is really interesting, especially because, like I said, it's his first year in the QB room, I believe. Maybe second, but I'm pretty sure it's his first year if I remember off the top of my head. So like I was saying, it's going to be really interesting to see Jaden Daniels progressing. Overall, I feel like the Washington Commanders, they attack the defensive side of the ball more than the offensive side, which I believe in the offensive side they did more during free agency. But in the draft, I really feel like they focus on defense a lot more. And I like that a lot, because to help a young quarterback out, the more better defensive players you have, the more chances you're going to stop the opposing offense, and your offense can go on the field, and that's how Jaden Daniels will learn. So it's really interesting, because the more touches your offense has, I know you're going to be a running team first, but I would like to see as well, it's kind of contradicting myself, I would like to see him throw the ball a lot, just because I know that's how the quarterback learns a lot more. But running the ball also slows the game down. So I'm like a little on the fence on what they should do, but I'm leaning more towards let's run the ball a little bit more, just to make it easier on Jaden Daniels. But yeah, I like the draft a lot. If you want to see what I grade them and go more in depth of why I think they drafted who they drafted, be sure to subscribe to my channel, as I will talk about it Friday. All right, I don't know if it lagged a little bit or what, but I was saying I really like what the Washington Commanders did in the draft. Just to reiterate myself, if you guys want to see what I graded them and why I think they drafted what they drafted, be sure to subscribe. I'll talk about it more in depth Friday for all 4 teams in the NFC East. So that's going to be a little longer video. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I really don't have, I'm not going to say the weaknesses of these players, because I just want to talk positive about these players, as they work really hard, as this was their dreams to be in the National Football League. So I'm only going to talk positive about these guys. If you guys want me to talk a little bit of weaknesses that they have, what they can improve on, let me know down below. But as for now, I just want to talk positivity for all these young men, as they all worked since they were pretty much babies, little infants, to being in the National Football League. So with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Peace. I'm out.